people develop pinched nerves or any kind of, I would say, crowding of nerves due to autoimmune conditions. Fibromyalgia, sciatica, those are like long-term, those are more nerve impingement.
Yeah.
And I used to be a bodywork therapist, so I saw a lot of people recovering from car accidents or just chronic immune issues. But I heard trigeminal neuralgia and sciatica are some of the most painful pinched nerve issues. Like, real, I feel bad for those poor people that have to deal with that.
Yeah, and it's so. But here's the thing: after I had the first epidural, it just so happened. Then I found out some things. Like, some doctors can prescribe large quantities of the opioids, and others can't. That your PCP will almost never be able to do that. It has to be some kind of a specialist, right?
Yeah, the expensive ones.
Yeah, so I happened to see the epidural guy who could prescribe large quantities. But then something else happened. I had a kidney stone, and I was at the emergency room again. And that was like in January, and then what do they call the kidney doctor? I forget. Anyway,
That's a good question.
he hooked up with me at the emergency room, and
Nephrologist.
yeah.
Because nephrons are the things that filter your kidneys.
Yeah, so then I could see him, and I could even get appointments there sometimes next day. And he also has the ability to prescribe large quantities. So then I came to know, so some of these doctors can prescribe it, some can't.
I think based on my medical anatomy and kinesiology and understanding medical laws and ethics, to be able to prescribe more, I've heard you have to have like specific specialties, degrees, and certifications where you've passed a certain amount of hours of supervision to be able to provide more medication.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And you have to have additional letters after your name. Some places you have to meet additional requirements to be able to even give Vicodin to people, because that's the most addictive. I think that's the second most addictive drug on the planet. And not all doctors qualify for certain, you can only do what your board allows you to do.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. 2 people in my family have long-term COVID, where it turns into autoimmune conditions. My sister, for 4 years, could not feel pain. COVID basically devoured all of her neurological, everything.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
She basically had a brain fever that cooked every nerve ending in her body.
Wow. So what would happen if you don't feel pain? Like, you bump into something and you don't feel it, and then later on you see a big bruise?
From what she told me, it starts off like a numbing feeling, and then you just don't feel. And it's not just pain. It was hard to get feeling in her arms, which later developed into carpal tunnel. It's very common. And depending on how she feels, she gets shots every 3 to 6 weeks. But they're trying to restart her neurological and her hormonal systems, because they all work together.